Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Sarah Has Way Too Many Books, and it's time for a haul because she has a book buying problem. I'm your host, Sarah, aka Java, the book junkie, and today we're going to be doing, as I said, a haul. I have acquired a ton of books over the last 3 months. I've decided that I'm going to be doing quarterly hauls and quarterly wrap-ups. I have a ton of books from that website called Pango Books. I mentioned it in a previous video, I think. But I don't think I've shown books I've hauled from them yet. I'm not sure. So I have a bunch of things from them. I will leave the link to that site down below. It's not sponsored or anything like that. I'm just it's kind of a problem. Like, I should really delete the app from my phone, but like, I've been finding some really great indie published romances on that site because it's just people selling their books, and I've been selling my own books, but I've been buying more than I've been selling, so, you know. But it's a great place to find indie romances for a little bit cheaper than what you would normally get from Amazon. So I have Pango Books, and I have some from Amazon, some from eBay, which I don't normally peruse all that often, but I've been making it a point to go on eBay instead of just buying straight from Amazon. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes it's not. So I just kind of been doing a little bit of research before buying books. Even though I'm still buying a ton of books, I'm being a little bit more conscious of the amount I'm spending on them, and maybe not purchasing something right away in case something pops up for cheaper later, you know what I mean? And then I do have a couple from Book Outlet. I don't really use Book Outlet anymore, but I had $5 or so. I had some credits or something to use through them, so I got a couple things from them. And then I don't remember which ones they are, but there's a couple in here from that little used bookstore that I go to oh so often. So yeah, I have Book of the Month as well from March. I don't think I got anything from February. I think I skipped February's month. I might have also skipped January because I don't remember if I hauled January Book of the Month in that last haul video or not. I don't know. But, so these are the books that I've acquired from January through the end of March. I have acquired books since then, but we're not going to go crazy. We're just going to keep it to the quarterly 3 months and then, separate them that way. Hi. You see Sophie's little nose? Can you lay down? Lay down. Anyway, so we're going to do Book of the Month first. I got 3 for the month of March. One of them, March is my birthday month, so one of them was actually a free add-on. But the first one I got was Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. And I think this is I want to say reality dating, but it's not. I guess he's the host. He has his own TV show, the Dr. Dill show, and something happens where they have an argument on camera, I guess. Oh, it goes viral. They have an argument that goes viral. He's the host of the show. So that sounds interesting. I don't know how I feel about shows or books that center around like television shows and sets like that. The only one I can recall reading is The Holiday Swap, which I really enjoyed, but it wasn't completely set on a like show or anything like that. So I'm curious to just see how this one goes. I know a lot of people have read it already, and it's been getting really good reviews. So one of the other books I got was The Hardcovers by Pang Shepard, and this one sounded really interesting. It takes place, I think, at the New York Public Library, and the heroine's father is either killed or goes missing. Something happens to him where she has to kind of figure out why or finish some kind of mystery. It sounded really interesting and fun. And of course, I have the long anticipated one from a lot of people, The Paris Apartments by Lucy Foley. I actually still have The Guest List by Lucy Foley, which I haven't read yet. It's weird, like I've been in the mood to like read suspense thriller sort of books, but I haven't actually picked any up to read them. Like I've been reading other things, but like I've still been in the interest like to just finally set into one. I don't know, at some point I will pick them up and read them. So those are my Book of the Months. Next, we're going to go into my small little Book Outlet order that I got. The first one I got was The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley. I think this is the one that's based around Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I think this is one that's set kind of around their lives. Romance to Reader by Night, an anonymous podcaster. She's a quiet, reclusive life, taking care of her mothers And then these British royals move in next door. So this sounds like it'll be a fun time. And I don't think I've read... I know Karina Halley has a lot of indie published stuff that I've wanted to read. And I can't remember if I read any of her stuff. But this was one traditionally published one that I got my hands on. Then we have... I wanted the original cover, but this is the only cover I could ever find of Ice Planet Barbarians, the special by Ruby Dixon, the special edition cover. And it's always like so expensive in stores. I'm like, why is this so expensive? But this was super cheap on Book Outlet, so I grabbed it. We all know what this is. It's the Blue Alien book that's been blowing up all over, I guess, TikTok. I don't have TikTok. I don't really like to get on TikTok, and I don't really follow Book Talk. So I have been aware of this series for a really long time. A lot of booktubers have been talking about it for years, and I've had interest in it. I just never pulled the trigger and got my copy for myself, but now I do finally have my own copy. Next we have Don't Fall in Love by Jackie Lau. It's set in Toronto, which I love. Anything set in Canada. So we have actor Ryan Kwok, who's back in Toronto after a promotional tour of his latest film that's not getting such great reviews, taking some time off. And then we have our heroine Lindsay, who's a baker, meets Ryan when he knocks over 24 specialty donuts for her bakery. So when Ryan signs up for a celebrity episode of Baking Fail, he asks Lindsay to teach him how to bake, and she agrees. So this sounds really fun. It has a baking show on it. I don't think I've had a lot of people talk about this, but I'm curious to see. And then this last one I got from Book Outlet was kind of an impulse buy. I don't know why it spoke to me, but it's called The Unheard by Nikki French. And this is another thrillery sort of book. But maybe Tess is overprotective, but passing her daughter off to her ex and his new young wife fills her with a sense of dread. It's not that Jason is a bad father, it's just her seeing him enjoying married life with someone else. Probably returns from the weekend tired of the drawing. When she slept, she shows Tess a crayon drawing, an image so simple and violent that Tess can only make sense of it. Pop can explain why the words, can only explain it with the words, he did kill her. Tess is horrified. She's certain Poppy saw something happen or something happened to her, and the child is young to understand. Jason insists the weekend went off without a hitch. So something happens while this girl's away at home with her, or spending a weekend with her father, and curious? It sounded interesting. So something happens. What happens? I don't know. Our Amazon/eBay haul. I don't remember which one's which completely. I know these ones are from Amazon. So I did get the Turncoat by Donna Thorland, which I really, really enjoyed. So I got the rest of the books in that series. I don't remember which ones exactly in what order they're exactly in. I know the Turncoat I think it's the first one. But this is the Renegades of the American Revolution series. So we have Mistress Firebrand, which is set in 1777 in British occupied Manhattan. Then we have, this is the one I was excited for, The Rebel Pirate. This one is 1775 in Boston Harbor. And then we have The Dutch Girl, and this one is set in 1778 in Manhattan and the Hudson River Valley. So I love historicals. So many historical romances are set in like England, Regency, Victorian era England, and there isn't a whole, I mean, I know Beverly Jenkins are set in America, usually around like the 1800s. So I'm really excited to read more set during the American Revolution. Like I still want to do that reading vlog of historical romances set during the American Revolution. So, but I already completed the one book, so I don't know. We'll see if I end up going back to that or not. The next one I got was, I didn't realize this was the copy I was getting, but it's The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan, and this is the Bookworm Box limited edition cover. This was I got this off of Facebook Marketplace, so there was no like picture that accompanied it or anything, but it's a gorgeous cover and I love it. So I'm excited to finally, I've been wanting to read this series for so long. The next one I got was, the book was literally like $3, which is why I got it. And also it was book about gladiators, Highland Gladiator by Catherine Levesque. It's the Scots and Sword. I think it's the first book in the Scots and Swords series. Like these books are like really cheap. They're like $3-4, and I'm curious to read them. Scottish gladiators. Like, okay. When Laurier's quiet Highland village was attacked and burned, he felt helpless against the raiders who destroyed his home. Seeking revenge but lacking fighting skills needed to execute his mission, he sets out to find the Ludus Caledonia, a mysterious fight guild that turns men into warriors. And then she is, I guess she's another female warrior that he falls in love with, so this sounds like a fun time. Okay, then I got some Grace Draven books. These have been sitting in my wish list on Amazon for a super long time. So the first one I got is Phoenix Unbound. And I think this is the one where she is set to be a sacrifice. Her fate to be burned alive for the entertainment of the masses. But for the last 5 years, she's been doing it for the same, like she's been doing it over and over again for 5 years because I guess she can't, like she doesn't die. So yeah, this is one of the ones that's been on my list for a long time. Then I also got I know it's Riley Marie's favorite, and that's Radiance. And this is a fantasy one of 2 different races. So Brishan is the Prince of the Kai, and then she is a niece of the Gori king. And I guess they both think each other is like hideous, and they have to it's like a marriage of convenience. And they fall in love, and I'm excited for this one too. Okay, so the other one I got from Amazon is one I've been dying to read, and I keep like forgetting about it, and then I'm like, I need to get this book before it completely drops off my radar because I really want to read it, and that's Bullseye by Monica James. So many of these I know you can read on Kindle Unlimited, but I really love having the actual like physical covers of or physical books. And I think he's a criminal. He just got out of jail and he gets a job as like a bodyguard or something. I can't remember the entire synopsis, but I know I was like really wanting to read this book. And this one I know for a fact I got it on eBay because I was really excited to find it. I actually have already read this book. I read this book like 2 years ago, a year ago. Might have been 2 years ago. And that's Bad Saint by Monica James. I loved this book. I'm obsessed with this book. I like the second book. I'm not so much a fan of the third book, which I mentioned in a previous reading vlog, but this book I loved so much. I wanted to get my own physical copy. So this is the only book on this list that I've actually already read, and I just want to have it on my shelf because I want to read it again. This is a book that I want to read again physically. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, but oh my God, love this book. And then well, not the last book, but this is a book that I actually didn't get online. This is the only one I got in the store. I actually got this in the grocery store, and then I went to my used bookstore today and realized they had it there, and I was like, I could have gotten it for so much cheaper, but I saw it come out. It's the new Torpedo Ink novel by Kristen Fian called Savage Road. I showed in my previous haul video that I got the entire rest of the series at that little used bookstore, and this is the newest one that just came out to go with it. I haven't actually started reading them all, but it's kind of one of those, like, I have the series, I gotta keep collecting the books. I told you it's a problem. Okay, so these are ones that I got from that little used bookstore, and I could have sworn I hauled them before, but I guess I didn't because they were still sitting like on the shelf, so I apologize if I've already shown these my last haul. I don't remember. I don't know. The first one I got was This Earl of Mine by Kate. Oh, they're all historical. No, not all of them. Some of them are paranormal romance. There's a couple historic romance. This Earl of Mine by Kate Bateman. And I guess this is a fake marriage, I think. I don't know. The Bow Street. This is something about I know it's a series. Oh, Bow Street Bachelors series. The next one I got, I think I bought this one again today, and that is Thief of Shadows by Elizabeth Hoyt. Hold on. And you know, I use this bookshelf app that I can literally scan the barcodes to check if I already have the books. And I didn't today, and I didn't. And actually the one I bought today is in worse shape than the one I had before. Not like terrible, but oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I guess that one of these is gonna go up on Pango to sell. But Thief of Shadows, so I think he's a vigilante or something, and she discovers who he is and like blackmails him, I think. I don't remember, but it was something that sounded really fun and exciting. So I have that one, 2 of those. Then we have Kiss of Midnight by Lara Adrian. I know Jazz from Peace Love Book really loved this one, and I think this is a vampire romance. Yes. I don't know, I know she loved this one, and when I go into that store, I just browse and look for things that are like I've heard of or familiar. I sometimes go in with a specific list, but sometimes I don't. Next we have The Darkest Night by Gina Showalter. This is the first book of the Lords of the Underworld series, and this is set in Budapest. So I don't know 100%. I guess okay. All her life, Ashlyn Darrow has been tormented by voices from the past. To end the nightmare, she has come to Budapest, seeking help from men rumored to have supernatural abilities. Not knowing she'll be swept into the arms of Maddox, their most dangerous member, a man trapped in a hell of its own. I don't know, but the series sounded interesting to me, so I found the first book there at the bookstore, so I decided to grab it. And then the next one I got, or the last one I got at that bookstore, is Archangel's Kiss by Nalini Singh. I think this is the second one of the Guild Hunters series. I think the first one is Angel's Blood, which I was going to read for a reading vlog. I don't really know why I got the second one when I haven't read the first one yet, but that's how I am. Like, I get a whole series of things and never read even the first one. But anyway, okay. So we're going to keep going with like the historical stuff. These next ones I all got off of Pango Books, except for one, but I don't remember which one it is. So, okay, well, the first one is, I got The Madness of Lord Eden Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley. I've been hearing nothing but fantastic things about this book. I don't remember if this is the first book in this series, but I know it's like the most popular and everyone's favorite. So I think he's got, I almost said Alzheimer's. It's not Alzheimer's. He's got autism. I think that's what it is. I think he's on the autistic spectrum. And yes, that's the word I was thinking of. I knew it started with an A. Okay. So then the next books I got are a series. This one is the Macabre trilogy. Macabre trilogy. It's one of these that I already had on my shelf. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was In Bed with a Highlander. No, might have been Seduction of a Highland Lass. It was one of these two I already had. And then I got a lot on Pango Books that had like the other ones in it. So we have the first one, In Bed with a Highlander by Maya Banks. Then we have Seduction of a Highland Lass and Never Love a Highlander. And that makes up the Macabre trilogy. I think they're brothers. So there's those. We all love, you all know I love a Scottish romance. Okay, and then this one is the Montgomerys and Armstrongs series. And I don't know if it's all of them. Hold on. I gotta get my shit straight. So I have the first two. There's 3 books in this series out so far. I have the first 2. I have Never Seduce a Scot. This is the one from that lot that I wanted the most, because this is the one where I think our heroine is deaf, and I was like obsessed and I wanted to read it so badly. So we have that one. And then we have the second book, Highlander Most Wanted. Again, this is 2 series by Maya Banks. And this one also sounded interesting because she's locked behind a fortified wall, and she's the captive of a cruel laird who takes pleasure in ruining her for any other man. Now we're going to get into the books I got off of Pango. There's a massive stack here, but we're gonna go with as usual, my hauls would not be complete without J.R. Ward books. So I got quite a few. Actually I got 4 of these, I think, in a lot. and then one I got separately. So I'm missing a couple in the middle of my Black Dagger Brotherhood series. So I got a couple fill-ins. I'm only missing, I think, one. And then the one in like the middle that I'm missing. And then I'm missing, I haven't gotten the new book yet. But I finally got The King. I got Lover Reborn. I got Lover at Last. And then we have a hardcover of The Thief. So I'm still like acquiring the paperbacks to read, and then if I can find like the hardcovers super cheap, I'm gonna get those as well because I like having hardcovers to display on shelves, and I'll just end up reading these, and then you know how it goes. But so I think the only one I'm missing out of the Black Dagger Brotherhood is The Chosen, aside from the new books. But then the other book I got was a hardcover of Immortal, which is her Fallen Angels series. I think this is like the 4th one. I have a couple of these. This one's like later on in the series. I know I have 1, 2, this one, and I got another one, I think. I'm not sure. I know I don't have the series like in order. I'm missing like 1 or 2 I'm missing Envy, I think. I don't have Envy yet. But yeah, so eventually I'm going to want to start that series as well. Okay, so that's it for the J.R. Ward books. Now we're just going to go into, most of these are indie published books, if I'm not mistaken. No, 3. There's 3 of these that are not indie published. So the first one is actually a continuation of a series, and that is The Ravenous Dead by Darcy Coates. I recently finished this book, the first book in the series, which was The Whispering Dead, I believe, was the first book in the series. This is the second book in the series. I think someone got this as a early release because they had put it to sell on Pango before it was even released. It was just released, I think, in March. I gave the first book, I think, 3 stars or something. Like, I know I was interested in it in the first book. It was kind of, there were issues with it and a ton of cliffhangers, but I wanted to read the second book because I need to know what happens. So I guess my camera stops filming after 20-30 minutes. So I'm sorry if any of this got cut out. I saw it stopped, but I don't know if it maybe stopped in the middle of me speaking. But anyway, the next book I got was another one that's been on my want to read wish list for a really long time, and that's The Surviving Trace by Callie Reed. This is a time travel romance, I believe. Surviving Time series, but this is one I've been really into for like probably over a year now. I've been wanting to get. Next is the ever popular Katie Robert. We have Neon Gods. No, I have not read this yet. I have Electric Idol down in the bottom of my pile, but I did get both of these off of Pango. There's been so many copies to buy. I thought these were indie published, but like they're everywhere. They're so popular that they've been in like regular stores and bookstores. So we got Neon Gods, which I think is the Hades and Persephone retelling, which I haven't read many of. Then I have one that I have not really heard of, and that's Ache by S.M. Soto. This one was like really, the person was selling it for like really cheap, and your girl has no self-control. This is her best friend's cousin romance. Her mother gets remarried. Her best friend's cousin is sent to live with his aunt and uncle to clean up his act, so he's a bad boy. Falling for the boy next door. So this is they get together as like teenagers, and then that's 6 years later. I don't know. I'm a sucker for second chance romance and bad boy, good girl sort of trope. So this one, it sounded cute. And then we have one of my favorite authors, and I don't remember if this is a newer series. I think it is a newer series. Yeah, 2021 the book was published, and that's North of the Stars by Monica James. And I think this is what series is this? Love and War, book 1. I don't remember if they're, yes, it's a new Viking romance series. And I have to say that if it's anything like the way she writes Bad Saint with like the dark romance tropes, I am here for this. I'm excited, guys. I can't tell you how just like super happy I am to be able to find all these indie romance authors all over Pango, because it makes me my heart so happy that I'm able to get these books that I will otherwise probably wouldn't be able to afford to buy, or wouldn't wouldn't buy on my own. I know you can always get Kindle Unlimited, but I mentioned this before, I don't like necessarily reading ebooks on my phone. So in my previous haul, I shared that I got Angel Fall by Susan E. Well, I got the other 2 books in the series, World After and End of Days. So I'm hoping I like the original book, or the first book, so because I have the other 2 to read as well. Then we have the first book I ever bought on Pango. I saw this one and immediately squealed, and that's when I became obsessed with checking this app out because I was so excited, and that's All Things Burn by Jodie Slaughter. This is a hitman romance that I have been dying to read. I feel like I want to do a vlog that's like all hitman romances because I love them so absolutely so much. Have I read any? No. I don't think I have, but I write them a lot. I mentioned that I do RP and stuff before. I love writing mafia hitman plots out. It's so exciting for me. Speaking of mafia plots, the next book I got was Twisted Loyalties by Cora Riley. I actually recently watched Jess's vlog where she read the first 2 books. This is the Kimura Chronicles, I think. But she read the first 3 books of this series, and y'all, I'm so excited for, I think it's the 3rd book? Twisted... I know there's Twisted Pride and Twisted Emotions are like the 2 and 3, but I don't remember which one is which. But yeah, I'm excited. This one has been, again, on my radar for so long. It's been on my list of want to read forever, and I finally got a copy of it. Then we have another series that I have been, again, dying to start reading. I know there's currently a readathon going on with this series, and that is the Fallen Men series. So I did get Lessons in Corruption by Gianna Darling. I have been wanting to read this for so long, and then now everyone's doing, the romance community is doing a readathon with I think they're doing 2 books a week, and I wanted to participate in it, but like I couldn't do it because I only have the first book. And I think, again, they're reading the first 2 or reading 2 books a week. So I would have to like quickly purchase all of them to be able to do it. And I wasn't going to be able to do that. So eventually I will start reading these on my own, but I am so excited to finally read this series as well. I did purchase the second book before this one, but the person canceled the order for some reason. I don't know what happened. They canceled the order and then like poofed from the site, so I was a little bit bummed about that, but I figured, well, it was the second book anyway, I need to start with the first book, so I went back and found the first book to get. Then I have another series. Can you tell I'm like super excited? This like website is like my everything. But I have another series that I've been so excited to start. I'm missing book 2 but I have 1, 3, and 4, and that is the Laura Thalassa's 4 Horsemen series. So we have Pestilence, which is the first book. Then we have Famine and Death. Like I said, I need to find more, but at this point, if I'm willing to go on Amazon and buy like the actual, just buy it from there if I can't find it on Pango or eBay or anything like that, which I haven't been able to as of right now. But I do believe I have Pestilence on my Kindle to read as like an e-book, and I think I actually have War on there as well because it was super cheap or it was free or something like that. But now I have the physical books that I can read, so that's super exciting. Then we have everyone. You're gonna be like, I can't believe you haven't read this yet, because everyone and their mother has read this book, and I know. I hear it already, but I got From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This, I didn't realize how much of a chunk this book is. Yes, I know. I have been wanting to read it. I'm one of those people that kind of gets a little bit put off by hype. I get, like, the book's probably, like, I expect it to be so good that I'm afraid to be disappointed. I don't know. But yes, I still have this one. It's on my list. I promise. I will read it. I promise at some point. I mentioned this before. I have Electric Idol, okay, by Katie Robert. This is a Cupid and Psyche retelling, I think, which is interesting. I actually haven't read a lot of Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology. I love it. And it's surprising to me that I haven't read more retellings of those myths. And then we have another one that I haven't heard of, but it sounded really interesting, and it's called Until I Found You by, I'm sorry, I don't know how you would say this. I want to say Kirstine Elizabeth. Anna Blake has had many hardships and heartaches in her 21 years of life. It has left her guarded and untrusting of others. She thought she was content living her life feeling only half alive. That is until he comes into her life and changes it all. The charismatic Micah Eason. Micah has a devastating past of his own that he doesn't allow the outside world to see. It leaves him feeling detached and void of any emotional connection until he meets Lena. The two share a connection that draws them to one another like magnets. With both being broken in their own way, they slowly become each other's solace and safe haven. However, neither of them would be prepared for the devastating outcome that one of their secrets carries. It sounds really good. So again, these big chunks of books. They're big chunks. But I'm excited. I'm excited about all of these books, you guys. Like, I don't even know what to read next once I finish the book I'm currently reading. Okay, then we have the ever popular Penelope Douglas, Punk 57. I have not read this yet. And I know Penelope Douglas has been getting super popular again because of Book Talk. I still am trying to find copies of Devil's Night that aren't super expensive. I know I like the original covers, to be honest, better than the old covers, but they're so expensive right now because since the covers have been republished, like, oh my god, trying to find them for less than like ridiculous amounts of money is hard. So, but even trying to find them at all is almost next to impossible, and they're a little bit pricey on Amazon. So I don't know. I do still want to get hard copies of those books, but anyway, beside the point. Punk 57, I think, there's a word for the type of book this is, I think. I don't remember. But I think they're pen pals, or like I am pals or something like that. And then their names are Misha and Ryan. And I think what happens is the teachers, their respective teachers, think that they think that Ryan is a boy and that Misha is a girl or something like that. So Misha is, I don't remember. They try to pair them. They think they're the same sex when they're pairing them, but they're not. And then, I don't know. And then one of them stops writing, and then the other one moves into town and discovers who they are. And it's a whole thing. I know I know a lot of people do love this book and people hate this book. So I'm curious to see what side I fall on, because so far I've loved everything I've read by Penelope Douglas. I'm trying to remember. I know I read Misconduct was okay. I still need to read Bully, the Fallaway series, and I know I have not read any of that series, and already the spin-off series with the kids the first book's already out for that one, but I do need to read that. And Credence, I need to read Credence. That's on my list, but after I just read, if you guys watch my Kay Webster vlog where I read The Wild, I think I'm ready to read Credence now. Okay, then we have I forgot this was another Laura Thalassa that I wasn't sure if I wanted to get or not, but I found it, like, again, super cheap. That is Rhapsodic, and I think this is a siren and a fae or something. I forget what he is. The Bargainer series. I know this series has, again, been all over Penguin. People have been selling the entire series of this. So I only just got the first one. Everyone knows that if you need a favor, you go to the Bargainer to make it happen. He's a man who can get you anything you want at a price, and everyone knows that sooner or later he always collects. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh, he is a fae. For the Bargainer, it's more than just a matter of rekindling an old romance. Something's happened in the other world. Fae warriors are going missing one by one. Only the women are returned, which each in a glass casket, a child clutched to their breast. And then there are the whispers among the slaves, whispers of an evil that's been awoken. So it sounds like crazy and interesting. So I'm curious about this one. This is the second to last. We have 2 books left. So this one is one that I have been, again, dying to read. And that is Born Darkly by Trisha Wolfe. This is a serial killer romance. I think he's a serial killer and she is a criminal psychologist. I'm excited. It's not very long, which is even better. So I think this is a duet. I think it's Born Darkly and Born Madly or something like that. Is the duet? But I found this one and scooped it right up. So I'm also super excited for these. The final book that I bought in the last 3 months is Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutano. This one sounds like it'll be a completely wild ride. It's like a rom-com where I think she accidentally kills so she's set up on a blind date, accidentally kills him, and she doesn't know what to do, so she calls her aunts to help her like dispose of this body. But they all work, they have like this wedding company that they all work for. I guess one of them does catering and decorating and hair and makeup and whatever, and they end up having to bring the body to a wedding that they're working. I don't know. It sounds like a fun time. This has been getting so many fun reviews, and I can't believe I haven't read it yet. I actually can't believe I haven't read any of these books yet, but y'all know how I am with my slow reading. So that's it. Those are all the books I got in the last few months. I'm going to count them real quick and let you know how many there actually were, because I don't even know. So I thought there were like 30 books. Turns out there are 53 books that I just hauled in 3 months. That's insane. Like, I need to calm down. It's bad. But like I said, I have been getting rid of books as I've been bringing, not nearly as much as I've been hauling them, but I have been selling books as well and making space. But oh my goodness, almost done. We're almost done. Okay, but so yeah, that's my haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this and stuck through it. I know my videos have been like super long lately. I'm sorry for that. I'm a talker, I know. I try to cut out as much as I can, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen. But all right, that's it. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you bought recently, if you have the same problem that I do, and let me know what you think I should read ASAP. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.